Thank you for watching this video. Please remember, like and subscribe. And join my Patreon if you want to help to support the channels. The link is always in the description. And thank you once again for choosing to watch this video. To all my fans and my haters, enjoy. So, I pay attention to my Discord. As much as I'm not talking as much, I actually lurk in my own Discord. So if you actually, that's why I'm able to see things. I'm able to respond to something every once in a while. I have the shit on my phone, so like I'm responding to Discord. But it's like a lot of things. Like if you ever had a news article or something that you want me to cover, try to put it in Discord under news and shit, or a meme that you want to like me to see. You can always go to the Discord. This is something that I basically it's just one of those things where if you want to just drop something that you want me to see, just drop it in Discord. I refuse to watch Truly, aka Barkoff TV. They seriously manipulate and just twats. I haven't heard of that one. I haven't heard of Barkoff TV. Let's do this here. And this is actually a new story. This is also something from Vice too. So, cop grabs junior officer by the throat. She pulls him away from suspects. The officer who got violent with his colleagues, Sergeant Christopher Police, is now a subject of an internal affairs investigation. Why isn't he just fired? Why the fuck isn't this steroid-ridden motherfucker just fired? Why? The fuck? If this is a steal that they have? When Sunrise, Florida police officers noticed her sergeant looming over a man already in their custody with pepper spray, and the 2.5-year veteran tried to pull her superior away to de-escalate the situation that could have quickly spiraled out of control. See, this is why good cops don't stand up. They end up being fucking throttled by the throat by these meathead motherfuckers like this. But her attempts to follow protocol and intervene weren't well received. The sergeant turned around, grabbed her by the throat, and pushed her against the police car, according to the body camera videos released Thursday, which show the incident from two different angles. The officer who got violent with his colleagues, Sergeant Christopher Police, is now the subject of an internal affairs investigation and was suspended from his job sometime before November the 25th, when the investigation begins. As first reported by local news station WSVN7 News Miami. Why the fuck is he fired? Oh, he's a 21-year veteran of the force. He assaulted a police officer. Let that have been something with somebody with my skin affliction, he would have been shot full of fucking holes. He literally grabbed a police officer by her throat. By her throat. And was like, yo, like, yeah. The officer, the sergeant approached and engaged in a verbal altercation with the suspect in a manner that I feel was inappropriate and unprofessional. Sunrise Police Chief Anthony Rosa said in a statement Friday. This supervisor escalated the encounter instead of de-escalating an emotionally charged situation. Let's see. Expand. Let's go. No sound. Is there no sound? Yeah, sound is up. Of course. You know why they took out the sound, right? You know why they took out the sound. I'm guessing the cop was using some the cop was maybe using some words that starts with the N and end with a IGGER. Yeah, that's why they took out the sound. That's why they took out the sound. I wonder why they took out the sound. And this was back on November the 19th. Wow. Wow. This is back on, yeah. Yeah, if this is no sound. The publicly released video was no sound, okay. Uh-huh. I bet they were using some words that they may not want everybody to hear. A word that rhymes with Tigger. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. Look at this motherfucker. Look at this meathead motherfucker. And there's all these other cops standing around. She run in there like, hey, hey, hey. Oh, why the fuck isn't he fired? Why the fuck? This is literally... And it's all these other fucking cops. Oh wow. All of these other cops are around. All of these other cops are around. The fuck? They should have put... Hey, why are you choking this woman? Why are you choking this woman? The police responded to an emergency call about a man attacking people outside of a convenience store on November 9th, according to the press release from the Sunrise Police Department. As officers tried to get the man handcuffed into the handcuffed man into a patrol vehicle, the man can be seen refusing to get in all the way so the officers can close the door. At least 4 officers struggle to get the man all the way into the vehicle as police pulls up to help. The sergeant approaches the suspect with his pepper spray drawn, which the arrestee finally leans his entire body into the car. Even though the man is fully compliant, police remains leaned over towards the man in the back seat for about 20 seconds. Police never uses his pepper spray, but goes into a verbal altercation that Chief Rosa called inappropriate and unprofessional. Oh, he used the racial slur. He used the racial slur. He definitely used it. He definitely used it. That's why he used it. He called them all sorts of niggas. Like, for real. He called them all sorts of, like, all that. Yeah, he used all sorts of them. Yeah. At least there is no audio in the police body camera footage released to the public, but whatever is said enough for the 28-year-old officer to rush over to get involved. He like, oh, we could probably end up with you, somewhere in a ditch, probably something like that. Like, yeah. He definitely used the word nigga, like, for real. In accordance with our department policies and procedure that call for intervention when there is an imminent fear of engagements escalating unnecessarily, the officer is seen grabbing the sergeant by the back of his duty belt and pulling him backwards. So she didn't even like beat his ass. She's like, no, yo, come on, you like, they got this shit on cameras, body cameras, stop. And he like, what the fuck you talking about? I'm gonna tell this nigga, like, yeah. Then the sergeant turns all the way around. He puts one hand on the officer's throat for a moment, then grabs her vest and pushes her against the nearby police vehicle. After a few seconds up against the marked car, the sergeant walks back to where the suspect is sitting, opens the door, and then closes it. Then he turns to the young officer who pulls his belt, pointing a finger at her, and walks away. She ain't gonna have a career there for long. The identities of the 28-year-old officer and the others who were present have not been made public. I wonder why. Rosa, however, condemned commended the young officer for trying to prevent police from making an already bad situation even worse. I'm very proud of the officer involved in this incident and believe that actions were taken definitely and demonstrated a good leadership during the tense situation. In other words, the reason why they're not going to give her identity away because she's going to be seen as the motherfucker that caused this 21-year veteran of the police force to lose his fucking job. And yeah, she's going to get death threats. That's what's going to end up happening because she did the right thing and stopped somebody from escalating the situation even worse. Virtually all U.S. police departments have a policy that requires officers to intervene if a fellow cop is taking things too far with somebody they've interacted with. I wonder why that's never engaged in. Yeah, of course she would leave the force. But the institution is often criticizing for not following through. As George Floyd was being murdered, for example, none of the 3 officers present chose to physically stop Officer Derek Chauvin from kneeling on a black man's neck for more than 9 minutes. This failure to act is the subject of both federal and state criminal trial scheduled to begin later on this year. Police say police has had no contact with any other department personnel since the November incident. Bullshit. Yes, he did. And the investigation into the sergeant is ongoing, and its findings will be released to the public upon its completion. Why hasn't this shit been released already? Why hasn't this shit been released already? This is fucking crazy. Like, you see this shit. You see this shit. Like, oh my god. Like, I don't, like, how do you not see this shit? What did she send me? Wow. Yeah, that was a thing. And I just don't know. I just don't fucking know. Like, this is the reason why good cops don't say shit. Because they're fucking hung out to dry. They're fucking hung out to dry with all this bullshit. And no. Yeah, I wonder if he is married because that seems like an abusive piece of shit. And like the sad part about it is they did an internal study back 5 years ago where it's like 45%. Let me see if I can actually find it instead of hold on. Let's look at this. Here, police and violence at home. Cops abuse wives and kids at staggering rates. The consequences of police violence are indelible. It impacts communities large and small nationwide. Large because police violence is seen publicly. Small because researchers' data suggests that the connection between police violence on the job and police domestic violence at home indeed, cops and domestic violence have strong relationships. As Black Lives Matter protests happened this summer, video after video showed that law enforcement go after unarmed civilians, shoving, punching, and using tear gas, rubber bullets, and some cases using live ammunition against protesters. What was it saying? What wasn't saying was what cops do at home. Is it a study in here? Yeah. No, this is something that you guys should definitely look into. Like, yeah. Because like it's just bad. Like, here, 40% is a number closer. Is it worth noting that the sample sizes are a bit small, that these are older studies, given the potential scale of the crisis? It's bizarre that they were there wouldn't be more available numbers. 40% is the closest number I can find. Like, wow. Wow. Yeah. No. Abusive ass cops, right? It's not like a job that's self-selective towards, carrying a weapon and carrying unquestioned authority will select people that look to be abuser, right? That's not self-selective, is it? Is it? Oh, anyway. Shit. Well, yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of bad that, like, the people, and what's sad is the people that are investigating them are their buddies, are their friends. Oh no, he's a good guy. He's just a little bit under stress. Oh no, they're okay, but they were just in an emotional situation. And no, no, that's not what goes on. But anyway, yeah.
If I gave myself the power